looks like the blood moon is just about to end. That's nice. And I turned on my fan in my room. So, apologies if there's some extra white noise in the background. Not to reveal myself as an anxious person, but I've gotten so used to my fan noise that I tend to get kind of not nervous or something, but it just, I don't know, it makes me more comfortable to have it on. Even when it's cold, it doesn't get really that cold where I live. The coldest I think it's ever been, like, during my life, it's probably like around 40 degrees. That's like really early in the morning, just before the sun rises, or like as it's rising, it'll be that cold. And it'll, you know, it'll quickly heat up to like, I don't know, like at least 50 or 60 degrees. So it's never really that cold where I live. But I've gotten so used to the fan that it makes me more comfortable to have it on than off. But you know, of course, for the stream, it's typically better to have it off to avoid extra white noise. Yeah, I don't know, I just prefer to have it on. So. Alright, let's go ahead and try again. We'll actually use our potions this time. Yo, the hops! I didn't think they jump that high. Chill, man, chill. So, I'm guessing Crabulon must get more aggressive as you complete the health bar, because, I mean, consistently getting to about halfway, just dying, probably getting caught by Crabulon himself. You would think if it wasn't so aggressive, we would just be able to do this the entire time and kill it. That hasn't been the case yet. I'm guessing you're going to have to be a bit more careful as the fight goes on. Oh my. Ooh. No. Oh, I totally dodged in the wrong direction. Oh man. Alright. That was pretty good. That was the closest one we've had yet. So the potions do help, at least a little bit. We are low on endurance potions. I don't think we have any more after this. I think if we want to make more, we have to get some cave fish, I think. Armored cave fish. So I guess we could do that. Need more. It's not like off limits to us. It would be boring to do that. We could do that. Art reach, I think, is out of reach for us. I don't think we can get the fish that required to make that potion. Remember correctly. Shine potion and Night Owl potion though. Oh, we don't really need Shine potion actually with the this thing on. I totally forgot. But yeah, Shine potion we don't need. Night Owl potion, I mean, we don't really need it if we already have the shine effect on our person. All it does is brighten the screen a bit, so you can see everything a little bit better. Which, I mean, is fine, but we have all these torches everywhere, so... All we really need is endurance and heart reach. Yeah, we're gonna have to go get more. Probably. Holy dodges. Oh my god, that skeleton came down at like the exact right time. Yeah. Well, the spores do drop health. I didn't notice that. Oh, you know what? This might be a good boss fight to use that other spell that we have. The wind spell that casts those waves like around us. That might be nice to use this boss. Oh no! It's like the littlest thing. Oh my god! There's something about having to time the dashes and the jumps that's so awkward on this boss fight. And for some reason I feel like I hate to be this guy, I hate to be this kind of gamer, but sometimes, for like years on this laptop, sometimes I just feel like the directional keys, the spacebar, will just not respond, or like the laptop will eat the input or something like that. I don't know what it is, but every time I play this game, Call of Duty, Minecraft, literally anything that I use the WASD keys on, it just feels like sometimes it'll just eat my inputs. I'm just like, what the heck, man? It's not like the keyboard is like breaking on me, like everything still works perfectly fine. It's not like sticky keys or I don't even know the correct term for a PC, like like stick drift or like sticky buttons on a controller, you know what I mean? Not really like that. Like everything still works perfectly fine, but sometimes I just feel like I'll stop moving in the middle of a boss fight, or I'll be in the middle of like some crazy dodge and it'll just drop. And I'm like, what the heck? I don't know if it's because like the sensitivity on the keys or what. That would be my best guess, but I don't really know. Alright, so at this point, we're gonna have to rely entirely on dodges, because I'm out of endurance potions, and this is my last heart reach potion. We're gonna have to rely entirely on dodges, which means pretty much any enemy that spawns is gonna be a problem, because apparently they have the perfect game sense and they spawn right in front of us and mess up our momentum completely. So, we're gonna have to be careful about that. I don't think blocking this entrance is gonna do anything. It's not like they're spawning up here and then walking over here. Typically they'll just spawn like in the air and drop down in front of us. There's not like a whole lot we can do about that. Unless we get a calming potion, but I don't know if we can get that right now. We might have a few in reserve, but I don't think we can farm for more necessarily. Alright. Take our potion. Is our amulet that spawns the poison stuff like less effective than the boss fight? That's crazy. I feel like if it's not a boss fight, those things will spawn everywhere. I haven't really seen that many during the fight. Gotta grab that spell too. Grab that last chance. Ah, that's pretty bad. Alright, yeah, let's grab that spell. And let's check if we can make any more potions, like now. So we want endurance and heart reach. Got heart reach here. Need crimson tigerfish. Probably something from the crimson. So we would have to either make a crimson world, catch this fish, or best case scenario, we catch some ebon koi, the corruption, and maybe convert those into crimson tigerfish somehow. I don't know if that's possible. Like, I know they use alternate recipes for like lead and tungsten and stuff like that, but I don't think they do that with fish. Calming potion, damselfish. I don't know where you get that. Damselfish. Looks blue, so I mean, my best guess would be the ice biome, like underground ice biome, but I don't really know. Maybe the ocean. Endurance potion requires not rockfish, cavefish. Yeah, we'd have to go underground to get more of those. We can do that. Wrath potion as well. I guess we could get that, if not the heart reach potion. Okay. Let's try our luck at catching some fish. We haven't really gone hunting for specific fish in a while. Let's see, we got our fishing pole. We don't have any cavefish? I thought we had cavefish. Don't have any cavefish? Really? Alright, well. I thought we had some cavefish. I was gonna use those right now. Guess not. Alright, well. Let's try to catch some... Actually, let's try to do the quest first. Try to do at least one quest. We get progress towards, you know, another fishing line that we can use whenever we need it. And then we're gonna go to the corruption and see if we can't catch some ebon koi. And, you know, see what we can do with those. I didn't really think Gravulon would give us that much trouble. Kind of having to rely on our last resources here. It's gonna be these fish and the potions. It's gonna be terraforming the arena, which I'll probably just do off stream sometime. And gathering silver or tungsten for better bullets. Marginally better bullets. And I guess after that, maybe farming Blood Moon for money so we can reforge the rest of our accessories. But that's kind of brings me to the limit, I guess. Yeah, there's our slime fish. Thank you. Fish hook. Oh. Oh, this is the first time we've got a hook upgrade. I think this one's the fish hook. I mean, I think this one's just objectively better than this one. Got 25 reach on the fish hook versus 18 reach on the grappling hook. 13 launch velocity rather than 11.50 on this one. And reel back and pull velocity are the same. Okay, so yeah, fish hook is just a direct improvement. Oh, and we get 2 hooks instead of just one. On this one, we just get the 1 hook, and if we grapple to something else, we fall. I guess on this one, we get 2. We can anchor ourselves somewhere if we want to. Great. Well, thank you, Darzen. No, Dazren, sorry. Go ahead and head over to the corruption. Sonar potions detects hooked fish. Okay, go ahead and use that for a little. No, actually, I should save that. I should save all these fishing potions for when we get the fishing power. You know, probably the best thing to do there. Go ahead and get our fishing bobber ready. You know, increase fish chance, I guess. Now, where should I put hooks? I don't think I have a chest hooks. I guess you can, you know, put them in accessories for now, but they're not really an accessory. They're kind of their own thing. I don't know. I'll figure that out. Away. Start saving up for potion power. And yeah, we'll just head over to the corruption really quick. There's a fishing hole there. Kind of one here. I don't know if it's really that big though. This one's kind of a fishing hole. Let's see. Probably this one's gonna be our best bet here. Let's go over there. Oh. Oh, hello? Is this what I think it is? Did we just find a pyramid underground? Yeah, okay, great. Did not expect to find that. Usually these things are above ground, like you can see the top of the pyramid from above the ground. I guess our generation kind of, you know, grounded under the sand, so. Okay, well, this is something. These usually have pretty solid loot. I don't really know if they're exclusive loot. You know, at this point with the mods, we can kind of craft almost anything that we need to. But yeah, typically these have pretty decent loot that's exclusive. I think this is one of them, actually. Allows the owner to float for a few seconds. Yeah, we can use that for sure. I don't know if this negates fall damage. It doesn't say it does. Get rid of the regen for a little bit. Yeah, with the red carpet, we can actually float horizontally for a little bit. That's pretty nice. I think I had one of those on my previous playthrough, and I used it for a lot of the game for a long time. Definitely nice to have that again. It does force us to, you know, give up a slot, which kind of sucks, but pretty solid item. Ebon Koi. Ebon Koi. Specular fish. I do believe there are some fish that are locked behind progression. So that might be the case here. Excuse me, by the way, just had the loudest sneeze ever. Jesus Christ. Excuse me. Yeah, some of the fish are locked behind progression. I think one big thing about this game I should probably mention at some point, I don't think I've really talked about it at all yet. Wasn't really important before, but now that we're getting further into the progression, I should probably mention it. There is a point in this game where there is a boss that we fight. Once we beat that boss, the world will actually basically completely change and will be basically a harder version of the game. That sounds kind of confusing if you don't know what I'm talking about. I don't want to say too much about it because it's kind of a cool moment to see for the first time. Cave fish, that's nice. But yeah, if we look at the boss checklist here, this whole time, you might have noticed these two pages here. One says pre-hard mode and this one says hard mode. And we're about halfway through pre-hard mode. Now, any unassuming gamer might assume that hard mode just means a harder difficulty. You know, if you play on hard mode, you would get all those other bosses. But if you think about it, it doesn't really make sense, because if that were the case, you would think the other side would say easy mode and not pre-hard mode, right? Pre-hard mode kind of implies that you have to get to hard mode at some point, right? Which is true, actually. Right now we're in pre-hard mode. We're fighting a lot of these mini-bosses, kind of, I don't want to say weak, but they're like, not really all that special bosses. And King Slime kind of gave us the works, but again, like, later down the line, not going to be anything. Hard mode is the point in which the game becomes a lot harder, which makes sense. There's a final boss in pre-hard mode that I won't mention, but once we beat this boss here at the bottom, we're going to have access to all of these bosses here. They're a lot harder, there's a lot more mechanics involved, the music is more intense, the bosses themselves are more intense, they're like bigger, they have bigger attacks, they do more damage. They kind of counter your builds a lot more. The enemies are more intense. There's new biomes. The biomes that already exist have changes to them. So the game basically overhauls itself at that point. So, my point in saying all of that is that we should expect that at some point. And, you know, most of the materials and items that we see at this point are actually going to be locked behind the hard mode barrier, which is a big reason why we haven't seen, you know, all those materials or even how to get them. Like, you would think maybe we would have seen a hint on how to get those items, or like some way to guide us in that direction. but really it's because it's locked behind that huge progression wall. Once we get past that wall, then we're going to be in hard mode, and we're going to see a lot more things in the world, change accordingly. So, I was going to say it's very possible that these Ebon Koi are one of those items that is locked behind that wall. That does not seem to be the case. And I guess we can catch Ebon Koi. So maybe I'll do that off stream as well. I'll catch a bunch of Ebon Koi and I'll catch a bunch of armored cavefish. Maybe even the frost minnows. Still need to get a bunch of those. Never finished farming for those ever. So maybe I'll do all of that off stream as well. Not fill a whole stream, 3-hour stream with fishing. But yeah, I thought I should mention that at some point because that's kind of a huge part of the game, is getting past pre-hard mode and entering hard mode. Anybody who's played this game will tell you that. I didn't really want to mention it much because it's not really important to us at this exact moment. But we are going to get to it at some point, so I think it could be said. Alright, so I guess we do have some Ebon Koi and actually some armored cavefish, which is nice. Let's see if we can't make crimson tigerfish out of the Ebon Koi. Oh, we can't? Oh, that sucks. Okay, well, in that case, I'm gonna have to make a crimson world at some point. Just go farm some crimson tigerfish. Again, this is probably all just stuff to do off stream. That is a lot of fish to catch. We need to catch 30 of each fish. It seems like each one is fairly rare. So I'm gonna have to do some questing so we can get some extra fishing lines. And we're gonna have to either spend a lot of time on stream doing that, or, just have you do it off stream. Alright, well. Let's see. I don't think we can really beat the boss, to be honest. I mean, we can try. We can just hit it over and over again like King Slime. I feel like King Slime was a bit different, because we were still kind of learning how to dodge effectively, and we were still kind of building up our character to be as strong as it possibly could be at that point. Now, I mean, we know how to fight the bosses relatively well, and we have the gear. All we really have to do is terraform that arena, like I was talking about, and maybe catch those fish, which is really just a lot of time, sinking. Not fun to do. This is kind of the thing about the underground bosses. There's a few different underground bosses in the game, and all of them are kind of like this in some way. They force you to create like the perfect arena, and of course every time you fight them you have to go back to the arena, which just takes a few minutes. Sometimes you need special preparations because it's underground. If you have a weapon that spawns stuff from the sky, not gonna do much underground. Oh, you know what? Saying that just made me realize why we don't have any of these acid droplets falling from the sky, because we're underground. Makes a lot of sense. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. We can try our best over and over again during the fight, but I don't think we're going to be able to do much without those modifications. think for the rest of the stream, we've got about an hour left. We can get started on all this stuff for sure. But I think it's going to take me longer than that to do all that, so... I think we can, you know, do some fishing quests and take down this wall here. On the side, you know. Basically everything else I'm going to do off stream. Catch all the armored cave fish so we can make 30 endurance potions. Catch a bunch of ebonfoy so we can make 30 wrath potions. And catch 30 crimson tigerfish so we can make 30... what was it? Heart Reach potions, right? And probably also the frost minnows. And finish that warmth potion thing. I don't really need it anymore, but still nice to have. Oh! Oh, you know what? Actually,